Hey, Matt Manny. Welcome to our devotional thought for today. Today is the next new best right thing. There's the song from Frozen 2 about the next right thing, talking about what's my next step. In Psalm 1, verse 3, it says this: He shall be like a tree planted by rivers of water that bring forth fruit in its season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. Planted, it's the nature of vegetation to be planted. The problem sometimes is this: as we find ourselves, we uproot and we move on to the next thing, or we get frustrated, or we hit a wall, and so we find ourselves, we move on and we don't push through. You can't have a plant grow very long if you continue to uproot it. A tree has to stay planted by a source of water and have water and nutrients going to its roots so it can stay strong and get through what it's going through. Here's the problem: routine and going through the mundane, it's not sexy. It's not something that we're gonna go ahead and put up on the big screen and watch a movie about, or somebody's gonna write a story about. Just putting in the time and going through the daily grind. But what we find is this: that with time, when we make decisions, when we find ourselves fighting these three monsters, it's the monster of FOMO, FOBO, and FOBO, what I call the fear of missing out, the fear of a better offer, and the fear of being left out. Sometimes we can find ourselves, we're just kind of waiting for the next big thing, the next awesome thing. Listen to Proverbs chapter 16, 3 verses, verse 1, 3, and 9. It says, we can make our own plans, but the Lord gives the right answer. In verse 3 it says, commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed. In verse 9 it says, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. And so here it is: plan, commit, and plan again. When it comes to these verses, make plans and watch God bring clarity to those plans and follow through. One of the best ways that we can go ahead and follow through, instead of looking for the next right, the next new, the next best thing, we can find ourselves, God, what if I continued in what I'm doing? What if I continue to push through the hard times and I committed to what you're doing in my life? What would that look like? What to do when you're facing problems in your job, in your marriage, in a relationship, and there's the tendency, the temptation to run. Many times people, they join a business, they join a church, they join an organization, but when tough times come, you know what they do? They leave. Not the organization, not the business, not the marriage, not the relationship, not the church. They're leaving because of a person. And so they leave because of the boss. They leave because of a friend at church that they had a kind of a tiff with, or a conflict. They leave because of a spouse. They leave because of some individual. And the encouragement is this, is to commit to reconciling that situation so we don't run when things get tough. We don't run when the heat gets turned up, but we can push through, because it's on the other side of those pressures that we'll find the incredible payoff of a whole healthy life, a rewarding life, of maturity and growth and having fruit in our lives, because we committed to God and we committed to the people around us. When it comes to your plans, it's easy for us to be immature and run, but a life of maturity rests on decisions of stability. The commitments you make will flow out of your connections and your choices. The commitments you make will flow out of your connections and choices. So commit, make those commitments. Find a life of maturity because of stability. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next devotional.